All right, let's take a look at method 2, solving using test values. So we had found that this was our simplified inequality, and we got x equals -1 and +6. So what I want to do is create a number line where I mark my two x values in order from smallest to biggest, so -1 and 6. I have just the parabola is greater than 0. There's no equal to here, so that means I need open circles on my number line. And again, you can draw them above or right on the number line if you prefer. And we talked about how with a parabola, either the middle will work or the outside will work. Either one, it really doesn't matter. The easiest number usually to plug in is 0, and 0 is in between these two. So I'm going to test x equals 0. So x equals 0 is right here. That's the value I'm going to test. Okay, so I'm going to test x equals 0 and see what happens. You can plug it into the simplified or the original, but the simplified function is usually easier to plug into. So I'm going to use x squared minus 5x minus 6 is greater than 0. And I'm going to replace these x's with this 0 value. So I'm doing 0 squared minus 5 times 0 minus 6 is greater than 0. So that's really just 0 minus 0 minus 6 is greater than 0. That gives me -6 is bigger than 0, and that's a false statement. That is not true. That means that x equals 0 is not a solution. So because x equals 0 is not a solution, that means none of the x values in the middle of this number line will be solutions. That means over here will work, to the left, and off to the right. So I have two separate intervals to write out. One for the left side of the number line, one for the right side, because the middle doesn't work. Okay? So now I want to try to write what those intervals are. Keep in mind, going to the left forever is -infinity. Going to the right forever is +infinity. So if I look at this interval on the left-hand side, because we always go from left to right, we're starting at -infinity. We're ending when we get to this -1. You can never equal an infinity, so that's a parenthesis. This right here, this open circle, means I can't equal -1, and that's because there was no equal to here, so that's also a parenthesis. If this was filled in because of an equal to here, that would have been one of those square brackets instead. I have my union symbol to symbolize that I have two separate intervals. The next interval starts at 6 and goes to the right forever. So I start at 6 and go to infinity. I can never equal infinity. Again, no equal to, open circle, parenthesis, not a bracket. So there's my interval notation answer. Now I want to write the two inequalities that match this. Here's my -1. So I've got x and a -1. X is on the left of that. Left means smaller than, so x is less than -1. Two separate intervals means I have an or statement, not an and. And then going to the right of 6 means I have x is bigger than 6, because going to the right on our number line is bigger than. All right? So that's solving using method 2, test values.